How long would it take you to discover a hacker in your medical office network? And how many patient lives could be impacted during that delay? Most breaches aren't found for over 200 days. That's over 6 months of silent access to your most sensitive data, like a thief with an invisible key. If that number worries you, it should. Hackers targeting healthcare have evolved fast. Meanwhile, most practices still use security tools from a decade ago. That gap is dangerous. Stay with me to learn the layered security that cuts detection from months to minutes and why one approach is changing the game for small practices. Hackers are actively targeting medical offices like yours. In 2010, there were only 8 reported healthcare hacks. Today, we're seeing over 500 breaches a year. In 2022, healthcare organizations faced over 1,400 attacks a week, a 60% jump from the year before. Why? Because your patient records are gold. Credit card data sells for about $5 on the dark web. A full patient record? Anywhere from $250 to $1,000. That's up to 50 times more valuable, making your practice a prime target. Today's hackers aren't amateurs. They're patient, well-funded, and focused. They start by scanning your systems for gaps, like burglars checking every door and window. Once they find a weak spot, they use tailored scams that feel real. We've seen attackers pose as law enforcement or send fake EHR updates. These messages look urgent and specific to medical teams, designed to make your staff act fast without thinking. These aren't random emails, they're targeted traps. The old ransomware playbook, lock your files and demand money, is outdated. Now it's double extortion. They first steal patient data, then lock your systems, and finally threaten to leak that data if you don't pay. This cranks up the pressure and raises the stakes. It's no longer just about access. It's about humiliation, lawsuits, and lost trust. The damage hits operations, reputation, and legal liability all at once. And small practices are feeling it the most. Even as attacks evolve, most small practices are still using basic antivirus and a firewall. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. 73% of healthcare cyber attacks now hit small providers. Why? Because hackers know smaller practices don't have in-house security teams, big budgets, or up-to-date systems. They also know you're more likely to pay a ransom just to keep running. That's the playbook they count on. Most practices focus too much on the front gate, firewalls, logins, antivirus, and ignore what happens after someone gets in. But that's where today's breaches happen. Hackers bypass perimeter defenses through fake emails or remote access. Once inside, they move around unnoticed. That's why healthcare breaches exploded. Data is valuable, defenses are weak, and attackers know medical offices can't afford downtime. Focusing only on keeping hackers out is like building a strong gate with unlocked doors inside. The smarter move? Assume they're already in. That's how modern security works. Strong practices now use a layered approach. Think of it as multiple locked doors, not just one. The best setups include zero trust, micro-segmentation, and smart monitoring that watches everything. Together, these layers turn your network from wide open to locked down. Zero trust means every login and every action is checked, every time. Just like pilots go through TSA, even if they fly daily, your staff should verify access each time they handle patient data. It doesn't have to be a pain. Take Rublon, for example. Their HIPAA-ready multi-factor authentication works with your EHR. It checks users without slowing down your team. That's smart security. Micro-segmentation adds a second layer. It separates your network into sections. If one device gets hit, the damage doesn't spread. Picture your network like a building with fireproof doors. Admin computers are separated from EHR systems. Billing stays apart from portals. Remote access can't reach sensitive data without extra checks. Every zone has its own rules, so one weak spot doesn't take down your whole system. The third layer is real-time monitoring using AI-backed systems. These tools learn how your staff normally works. When something looks off, like a user downloading hundreds of records at 2 a.m., it sends up a red flag. You don't need a big IT team to get this. Even small offices can use these tools through security providers that specialize in healthcare. The result? Threats get flagged and shut down before damage spreads. This approach works. Practices using it are cutting breach impacts way down. Detection time drops from over 200 days to just hours, or even minutes. And these tools aren't just for big hospitals anymore. Specialized providers now offer this to small practices too. It's more affordable than you think, and way cheaper than a breach. If someone breached your network today, would your current security setup detect unusual access patterns within hours, days, or months? Drop your answer in the comments. Your response might reveal more about your security readiness than you realize. Let's be real. The worst cost in a breach isn't the ransom. It's lost trust. That's what shuts down practices. The good news, you don't need to know everything. Just work with pros who understand medical security. Get regular system audits. Train your staff. One clinic avoided a breach and cut their insurance bill by 30% after upgrading their setup. That's a win. Every day you wait is a bigger risk. Your patient's trust is worth more than any file. These advanced tactics separate the protected from the vulnerable. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how our company can implement these strategies for your specific practice. This next video could be the most important one for your practice's survival.